Well, so normally you find me in the city driving any car and giving an intro and talking about, but today we're right in the middle of a jungle. As you can see, we've got some big mountains, a riverbed behind us, and lots of off-roading surfaces, soft roads, off-roads, bad roads. We've got it all today on this show. The reason for that, of course, is this car, the indestructible Toyota Hilux. It's a car which is known across the world as the ultimate 4x4, the ultimate off-roader, and there are plenty of examples of this car doing duty in the worst of worst road conditions. It's done a lot of duties in sub-Saharan countries. It's done a lot of duties for UN peacekeeping missions. It's done a lot of duties in other places which are very difficult for normal cars or even normal SUVs to go for. And of course, this car is based on the Fortuner platform, and just like the Fortuner, it's a tough as nails SUV. You get huge wheels, and from a side angle, you can see it's got two rows of seating, not a third row, because that's a huge cab at the back where you can load a lot of stuff. But it's really a massive car. It's a really massive SUV, and that it shows you how good and how big this car is in terms of road presence on the road. Now, it doesn't have too many styling elements. It's all square and boxy, but of course you get this huge Toyota sticker, of course the Toyota badge, Hilux written over there, and lots of chrome over here, and lots of chrome even on the front and on the grille. And of course you also get the side step board to climb up and out of, and huge wheel arches because the wheels itself are 18-inch wheels and massive wheels. So really, this car has it all in terms of 4x4 capabilities and strong road presence. But how is it as a car to drive? We'll drive it around today and show it to you. Now, this, as I said, is built on the same platform as the Fortuner. The interiors also are very similar. We'll jump inside and show you the interiors now. But before that, a small request: please do follow me on Instagram. My handle is flashing below your screen, SashiMasi1, and also follow me on Twitter as well as Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you've come here for the first time. Let's get started with the all new Hilux. Well, so one of the biggest plus points on this car, and something which will make you feel very muscular, and just like the Hilux, is of course this grab handle. When you get inside the car, you don't crawl into it like other cars. You just walk into it and you hold this and climb onto that step head on the outside and jump in these seats, so you feel very muscular. And once you enter, you'll see that this cabin is exactly the same one as you get on the Fortuner. That's because this car's you know internals are very similar. The engine is the same one, is the same diesel engine which makes 500 Nm of torque, so it's a very torquey engine, very powerful. And of course, everything here is very simple. The quality feels not as posh as it does on the Fortuner, but that's quite okay because this car is meant more as a utilitarian product, so it's not meant to be a luxurious SUV, but that's quite okay. And of course, same kind of AC vents, same infotainment system, and climate control buttons are the same. And of course USB, hill descent assist, off-roading mode, and of course 4x4. All these modes along with traction control, everything is there over here. And of course over here you do get the H4, H2, and of course low 4. These are the different modes that you can choose from on this car. And the seat on the Hilux are again very similar to the ones on the Fortuner. So very good in terms of comfort, very good in terms of overall support, and on the longest long day you'll feel very fresh inside this car. Of course, as I said, you sit up really high, you feel as if you're sitting 2 stories high compared to the other cars out there on the road. Anyways, that's enough of the front seats. Let's quickly check how good the back seat is on the Toyota Hilux. Well, so what is Budmo? Well, I'm sure by now all of you are aware that Budmo are the online expert when it comes to spare parts. And the best point is that they have the spare parts for all vehicles available in India. So even if your car is out of production now, maybe you have a large generation model, even then they have the spare part available. They have the entire catalog. And the best point is that they have the same spare part from a host of different component makers, which gives you great flexibility in the pricing overall. So check them out today. Check out the app. It's available both for iOS as well as Android devices. And also check out the website for the latest schemes as well as offers. Budmo.com, the expert of online spare parts. Well, so I'm in the back seat of the Hilux, and space over here is quite decent. Knee room is quite okay, and headroom also is decent. It's not the biggest or the best. For someone who's my height, which is 5'10", it's quite okay. But if you're about 6'1" or 6'2", then you might say, well, I need a little more head space because the seats are quite high. That said, even the backrest angle could have been a little more reclined. It's very upright, so you might, just feel like you want to jump in the front seat, and you might have to play a game of rotating chairs and musical chairs because you might be feeling tired at the end of a long day sitting upright like this. But that said, you get AC vents. It is protruding out over here, so in case you move around like this, it might just hit your knee. And of course, large windows as well, and of course, big handles to hold onto. But overall, very impressive place. Really nice. Couple of hooks as well, one here and one over here. It's a nice place to be. Feels very much, and you really set up very high, so you get a feeling of complete authority on the road. You don't feel like you're sitting inside a puny SUV or a pseudo SUV. It really is an ultimate off-roading beast. Now we'll get to the driving bits and show you the true capabilities of this car and then give you a definite verdict. Well, so let me quickly show you the luggage area of this car. It's really massive to say the least. Now the best use of this little tray over here, or this little area over here, is to just sit on it and enjoy that evening siesta with your entire family. That little trip you planning with them, you can easily enjoy it over here. See the sunset, see the mountains, or just enjoy the valley view that you might get. And of course, after that, you can easily sleep over here because it's really deep and spacious. You can easily keep a couple of big body bags, or rather sleeping bag, not body bags, sleeping bags over here, and sleep in them with your family, and of course build a tent or something like that for night camping. It really is a true lifestyle vehicle. In fact, if you're lucky enough to have a farmhouse, you can do organic farming and lay and load this car with the produce of that organic farming. It really is that impressive. Anyways, that's enough of me talking about the Hilux as a salesman. Before you think that I'm a salesman of this car, let's jump and drive this car around and tell you how good it is on the off-roading surface that we're on today before it starts raining. Well, so now I'm driving the Toyota Hilux, and you can call it the Hilux or the Hilux, it depends. If it's a proper town, you can call it any which way you want. Now, if you haven't driven this car before, and you have driven the Fortuner or sat in the Fortuner, and you think that the Fortuner is the big daddy of SUVs, then this one is the big granddaddy of SUVs, because this one really is huge. It's mammoth, not only in terms of its width and its length, but also in terms of its driving position and in terms of the seating position. Because if you think that the Fortuner is a car where you sit on the first floor, then in the Hilux it's a car where you probably sit on the second floor. It really is very tall and very high set seats, and you look down on all kind of vehicles on the road. In fact, compact SUVs look as if they're toys, and dinky cars, they don't really look like cars at all. This car's road presence really is that massive, and the driving position really is that commanding. So that is something which a lot of customers, a lot of SUV lovers will really enjoy. And what is also enjoyable is the fact that whenever any motorist sees you in his rearview mirrors and you just flash your lights, they move out of the way, just because of the way this car looks, and it has a very menacing look about itself. So that's something which a lot of customers will truly enjoy. What you'll also enjoy, of course, is the brilliant ride. The car just goes over those bumps and ruts with complete aplomb. It just takes everything in its stride. Yes, SUVs aren't really meant to be keen handlers, and neither is this one. But the good point is that the steering wheel on this car is nice and light. So even though it's a big and heavy car, and as you can see, we're driving on some very badly patched up roads right now, even then, it's a joy to drive this car because the steering wheel is really light, and the driving position also is very car-like. It doesn't feel as if you're driving a big and bulky SUV. It feels very car-like, and these are things which a lot of buyers will really enjoy about this car. Now, we did, of course, do some off-roading. We did do some serious off-roading on it. We'll show you some clips, and this car is very, very capable because, of course, it has all the paraphernalia, all the gear, and serious off-roading equipment is available with this car. So that's something which, serious off-roaders and serious people who only buy these cars to take them to Leh Ladakh and stuff like that and do adventure drives will really enjoy. And of course, the diesel engine on this car is a tried and tested product. We've already seen it on a lot of other cars internationally, And Toyota, of course, makes the best engines when it comes to reliability, and this one shouldn't be any different. Yes, it does tend to become a little boomy when you rev it up hard, but when you're doing speeds of say about 1500 or 1600 RPM on the engine revs, then the engine and the cabin feels very quiet and nicely isolated. It's only once you go beyond 2200, 2300 RPM that the cabin and the engine tends to become a little boomy. So is it really a great car for everyday driving? Well, to be honest, it's going to be a little cumbersome in the city, but this car isn't made for everyday driving. It's made for off-roading. It's made for the farm life. It really is a lifestyle vehicle, and anyone who wants to do serious kind of off-roading, serious kind of 4x4 stuff will really enjoy the experience. Yes, you can drive it in the city as well and on the highway for that occasional trip with your family, and this car will not disappoint you. What you'll also like, of course, is the automatic gearbox. It's very quick responding. Both upshifts and downshifts are quite good. And if you are driving at a crawl in the city, even then the gearbox really does work very well, and you hardly ever feel the need to put it in the D mode or the drive mode and shift gears yourself. So that's something which really is a big boon, and something which a lot of customers who drive in the city will truly enjoy about the Hilux. Now we've just met some traffic and we had to stop, but I have to say, as I said, this car doesn't feel as big and as heavy as it really is. So it's quite a good car to drive, quite a nice car for comfort, and definitely a great car for serious off-roaders, and a great car for image as well, because it really has solid road presence. If you have farm, if you live in Delhi or any other part of the country, and you have a farmhouse and you always need to haul in big luggages and big stuff, then this is a great little package for you. Now let me stop the car and give you a verdict of how good this car really is. I really can't find any major issues with the car. It really is a solidly made product and something which you can pass on to the next generation, because it is that sturdy and that well built. Thanks guys for watching this video. Well, so if you're in the market for a true lifestyle off-road, a lifestyle SUV, then the Hilux is the best in the business. It really is a very capable off-roading car. It's a perfect car for you if you want to go camping. You can really get a house built over there or a canopy built over there. And got for camping, you can do off-roading tours on this car. And you can take your entire family on that adventure you've been promising them for the last few years. Now, this car isn't really meant to be driven every day, but you can drive it because the steering wheel is very light, the engine is very capable, and the automatic gearbox means that it's not really a hassle to drive in the city. So even if you want to drive it in city limits, it can be done. It's not something which is impossible. And overall, it's just a fantastic product and a very good SUV. It's indestructible. It's got Toyota's lineage of SUVs. It's got Toyota's lineage of reliability, after-sales support, as well as a durability factor with which you simply can't go wrong with. Simply go ahead and check out this car at a Toyota dealership. Hey you, bye for now, and thanks so much for watching this video.